joining us here on YouTube. I forgot where I was. Be sure to check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com for plenty more Royal Caribbean news, information, fun, advice. Plenty more waiting for you over at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Happy Monday, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you for joining us here each and every Monday. We're here to answer your cruise questions, starting off with the most important cruise question. How many days until your next Royal Caribbean cruise? Hit your countdown in chat. Let's count down together. I am very excited because my countdown was just cut in half. Just booked another cruise. My countdown now at 14 days, 2 weeks. So very excited for it. Always good. And of course, we're here to answer your Royal Caribbean cruise questions. So please feel free to type your questions in chat. Before the broadcast began, we had a super chat coming in from Peter Vosberg. Peter, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. I'm looking to see if there is a message from Peter, but I do not see one. But thank you, Peter. I do appreciate that. And AD coming in with an awesome super chat to start us off as well. Happy Monday. Here's to helping Tony Diaz buy some painkillers due to all the abuse he has to endure. Poor Tony. AD, thank you so much for your generosity. I appreciate you. Poor Tony. I'm not sure that we have that much sympathy for him, but I appreciate you. This is great. Here's Peter Vosberg's message. Matt and team, thank you for the great blog. Your enthusiasm is contagious, and I hope there's no vaccine for that. We have our first family cruise in December on Mariner of the Seas. Well, thank you, Peter, again for your generosity. And I got to say, Mariner of the Seas is one of my favorite ships to go on. There's something about that ship. Maybe because I had my honeymoon on her. Maybe because she was in Florida for so long and I've done a lot of cruises on her, but there is that je ne sais quoi that really resonates with me with Mariner, and absolutely love that. Nancy just paid off Thanksgiving cruise. Fantastic. Love that. Fantastic. Amazing news. North Florida Wanderers Royal Caribbean blog is the best part of Monday. Oh, shucks. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Let's see here. We have an epic super chat coming in. It's such a good super chat. You're going to want to slap Tony Diaz. 55 days till your old birthday cruise on Oasis, and 125 till the next Royal Caribbean Blog group cruise on Wonder of the Seas. Hashtag slap free zone. Josh, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Appreciate your amazing generosity, my friend. Wowie, wow. But, dude, talk about some heavy hitters you've got coming up. Oasis and Wonder. Going to be amazing. Love that. Let me get a drink of water, and let's start answering some cruise questions here, guys. Avish has our next question. Should one book a 3 months later cruise now, or book the same cruise on a cruise which is 1 month later through next cruise? Okay, I think you're asking, should you book a cruise today that's 3 months from now, or wait a month and then book it on board the ship? And the answer is you should book the cruise now. The reason why, Avish, is yes, you'll get some extra onboard credit for booking your cruise on board. The problem would be that if the price goes up between now and when you get on board your ship, it could negate any of those onboard credits that you might be getting. So my best advice is to book it now, because usually prices only go up over time. Lock in the price now, get the best rate there. So I feel like that's the best course of action if you ask me. And you did. So that's my answer. Next question. I think we have some super chats coming in. Hang on a second. Elizabeth Lee, thank you for the super chat. I'll keep an eye out for your message. Amanda Ferguson is here. Hello, Amanda. Hope you and the children and Brent, should be lumped in there together, are doing well. Hope all is well with you guys. This is true. This is true, Josh. I snuck one in. Yep, absolutely. Cheryl wants to know, can you bid on multiple Royal Up rooms at once or just one at a time? Yeah, you can do more than one, Cheryl. When you go to Royal Up, which is Royal Caribbean Stateroom Bidding Program, it will give you all the options, Cheryl, and you can place a bid for any of them or one of them. Keep in mind, by the way, that whichever one is accepted first is the one you get. It's not like college where you're like, well, this is my safety school, so I'm going to wait for the other one. It doesn't really work that way. So, yeah. Brandon Hilliard. Brandon, thank you, my friend, for the super chat. Hope you were doing well. Are you back on board a ship, Brandon, or are you just enjoying the shoreside life? Either way, good to see you here. Thank you for your generosity, Brandon. Next question is from, got a lot of countdowns. I love that. Sharon Stockman here. 110 days until Symphony of the Seas. Noel has our next question for us. Um, I'm going to Alaska in September on Radiance of the Seas. Is Skagway port issues regarding the rock slide affecting Royal Caribbean ships? It very much could, Noel. What it might end up happening would be that your ship would tender instead of dock. So what that means, instead of coming up to the dock, there'd be little tender boats to bring you on shore. It's going to be kind of a, you know, you're gonna have to play it by ear, quite frankly. There's no way to know because things are happening, and certainly if you're unaware, in Skagway, where the ships dock, there's a decent size. It's not a mountain. I don't know what you call it. Hill. It's bigger than a hill, a mountain. Anyway, a mountainside, and there's been some rock slides over there. And the problem is the rock slides not only are a safety issue, but they fall right onto the cruise ship dock. As you might imagine, that's not a good thing. So for that reason, there have been some ships that have not been able to get in there. And then additionally, some other ships have actually done tendering. So it remains to be seen, Noel, what to expect. I know you want an answer, but being that you're a number of weeks away, don't know yet, quite frankly. Zach, what's the best way to book a cruise as a surprise? Well, step one, don't tell them. Step two, work with a good travel agent so that you need to get their information. Otherwise, you can book it on their behalf. It's not like anybody calls you and it's like, hey, Zach, did you actually book a cruise? No, it's just maybe the credit card company to use their credit card. But Royal Caribbean won't contact them. So, yeah, you just need the pertinent information, name, date of birth, residency, things like that. And you should be able to. I don't see a reason why that wouldn't be, why that wouldn't work right there. Stacy Lamp wants to know, does Mariner have an amplified pool deck? It does not. They did do some upgrades of the pool deck, but Stacy, it's not the same amplified pool deck like you see on Oasis of the Seas or Navigator of the Seas or Odyssey of the Seas. So it's certainly newer than what you saw on pre-amplification, but it's not like that new tropical shenanigan stuff that they got with the newer ones, which are really nice. I think I see Becky Menken in our chat. I do see Becky Menken from MEI Travel. Hello, Becky. Good to see you. Tony Diaz, is there any way to treat a new grandpa? By the way, Mazel Tov, Tony. Congratulations. Tony's first grandchild was born over the since we last talked on Monday. So congratulations, Tony. Now when you take your afternoon naps, it's okay because you're grandpa. Grandpas are supposed to do that. So there you go, Becky. Book it now. YOLO book it. Indeed. Love that. All right. We got to catch up with the super chats here. I'm a little behind in that. So we're going to catch up on that, starting with our super chat from Andrew Tate. Andrew, thank you for the super chat. Stocking up on Royal Caribbean stock. Listen, I'm not a financial expert. I don't give out financial information. So full disclosure on that. Don't ever take advice from somebody on the internet what to buy. But they do say you're supposed to buy low, sell high. And, it's definitely low. So there you go. Angela Thornton with an amazing, epic Slap Tony Diaz super chat. Thank you, Angela. What are some of your favorite things to do on Symphony of the Seas? Well, thank you again, Angela. Thank you for your generosity. Number one, the shows, right? You've got Hairspray, the Broadway musical, must see on board Symphony of the Seas. You've got Flight, which is an original Royal Caribbean production about the history of powered flight by man. It's a really powerful story. Love that. The ice skating shows, the aqua theater shows. So number one, you want to make sure, Angela, you see every single show on board. They are worth seeing. And by the way, also the comedians are fantastic as well. So definitely worth doing, number one. Number two, I love some Hazumi hibachi. So I would do hibachi for a specialty restaurant meal if you're on Symphony of the Seas. Number three, I think you got to check out the amazing, the water slides, all the signature activities you can do on board. Water slides, zip line. Those are the flow rider if you're adventurous. I am not. But there's some really cool, fun activities on there to check out. And don't miss out on the Stowaway Piano Player, Angela. It's a lot of fun. There's no schedule. He or she will appear somewhere with a piano and an elevator and a hallway. It's pretty cool. They do a good job with it. Definitely worth stopping to see what's going on. Mike Pastore in the house. Hello, Mike. It is good to see you. Our next super chat. Again, Brandon, thank you so much for your generosity. Whatever happened to the damaged dock that Harmony backed into you? Harmony backed into. I remember Mariner got hit by a ship. Not much. Let's put it that way. Nothing, I guess. So, Melissa Moreno. Thank you again, Brandon. First, maybe you have to refresh my memory. I'm totally not blanking out on that one. First time to catch your live Q&A. What is the restriction of bringing food on board the cruise ships on ports in the U.S.? If it's sealed, you can bring it on board, Melissa. We actually do. People might say, why would you want to bring food on a cruise? There's plenty of food. Well, I say the same thing, but when you got kids, having like snacks in the room, like goldfish or gummies or whatever, just to have like to munch on, especially at night when a lot of places are closed for dining, can be really advantageous. So as long as it's sealed, Melissa, there's no restrictions whatsoever that I'm aware of. Cruising with Carol, thank you for the super chat. What's the best area in La Bodega to get a cabana? Ooh, I think the Barefoot Beach cabanas, which are now open to everybody to book, is definitely worthwhile. I would go with Barefoot Beach number 1, Nelly's Beach number 2. Nelly's Beach is great. I love that quite a bit. So, powerful female in the house. Hello. When will dry dock start happening again? It's unclear. Royal Caribbean still intends to do them, but there's been no announcement about that. So, yeah, I don't have an update or any kind of timeline or anything. I really don't. All I've been told by Royal Caribbean is that they still plan to do them. So, George Macy, George, thank you for the super chat. 96 days till my birthday cruise on Symphony. Purchased the 3-night dining package. I've selected Hooked in Wonderland, but debating 150 or Jamie's Help. Well, I would do 150 Central Park. Yeah, the fried cheesecake alone is worthwhile. Becky Menken knows what I'm talking about. But the beef tenderloin for 2, best steak on board the ship. So 150 Central Park is what I would recommend. And thank you, George, for your generosity. I appreciate you. Barbara Hawkins, thank you for your super chat. 12 days till Symphony of the Seas. Thanks, Matt. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. 12 more days. A little less than actually 2 weeks from right now, Barbara. When I'm doing this, you're going to be on your cruise, and I'll be extremely jealous of you. Peter wants to know, Matt, I'm a chef. I'm wondering, do they give galley tours on Mariner? Pre-COVID, they did. They've not brought back yet the backstage tours, but they intend to do so. But yes, they have done that in the past. It's called the All Access Tour, Peter. So when they do bring it back, that is part of it. You visit the galley, the bridge, another place or two behind the scenes, which is really cool. So I think as a chef, you would definitely enjoy that. Let's see here. Kathy L in the house. Just got off Oasis yesterday. 31 days till Adventure of the Seas. That's a reasonable countdown in between cruises. I mean, she'll probably depressed, but Fanfic rocks. Thank you for the super chat. Just a polite nudge for those autism-related articles and videos. Did you see the article, Fanfic rock? First of all, thank you for your generosity. Second of all, did you see the article that Allie, one of our writers, wrote about autism on the seas? I'm not sure if you saw that particular article, but that was something that I think since the last time you and I chatted here about this, we did. If you didn't, Fanfic rocks, send me either Google it, Royal Caribbean Blog, Autism on the Seas, you'll find it, or just send me a message after, email me, Matt at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, and I can send you a link afterwards. So definitely want to get more information on there, but yeah. Let's see here. Travis wants to know, this is good, important. I know a lot of people have this question, Travis, so thank you for asking it. Any word on cursing from Florida without a vaccine? Darn it. Dang nabbit. No, not that cursing. That's like the anyway. I'll keep it PG here for everybody. Anyway, so here's the deal. If you guys saw our video update last week, Royal Caribbean is going to allow cruises for the unvaccinated from certain ports like Los Angeles, Galveston, New Orleans, and Europe. But Florida ports are not there. Why? Because there are some countries, in fact, a lot of countries in the Caribbean that require the COVID vaccine for cruise ship passengers. It's their national law. It's not a Royal Caribbean decision. It's not a CDC decision. It's certainly not the state of Florida's decision. It's because these countries where the cruise ships visit, they have to adhere to those rules. Now, Travis, there's been no update, so that's to answer your question as directly as I can. But you also have to understand, I think this is going to be a very organic process. And you have to remember, a lot of these countries base their own protocols on CDC guidelines. As you may or may not be aware, the CDC just last week changed their guidelines as it relates to COVID-19. So there's hope that those countries will relax their protocols. But for right now, the issue is not Royal Caribbean or the state of Florida. It is these countries. The Bahamas is one of them. That's a big one. So obviously, if your cruise visits any of those ports, they wouldn't be able to do it. And I think that Royal Caribbean decided there's too many itineraries that simply have these countries in them. We're just going to not include Florida for now. But again, Travis, I think it's an inevitability. I don't know how inevitable, like tomorrow inevitable or, October inevitable. I don't know that yet. But you have to remember, not only is it these countries' laws, these countries have very different and quite frankly inferior medical care compared to the U.S. So it's a different situation for them. So hope that makes sense. Mark wants to know, how many vacations a year do you need to take to make yearly travel insurance worth it? Probably 3 is where you're probably in the ballpark where it makes sense, Mark. It depends on everybody, but yeah, right around 3 right there. James Cooling. James, thank you for the super chat. Did Royal Caribbean ever announce when Icon is sailing out of trying to book an anniversary cruise next August? Kind of, James. And thank you for the super chat, by the way. So Michael Bailey, Royal Caribbean CEO, said, and this could have changed, but he did say at one point that she was going to initially debut in Southampton and then be based in Miami. That's not been officially announced. Like if you were to go to Royal Caribbean's website, you won't find any reference to that. We do have it at royalcaribbeanblog.com because he said it. So for what it's worth, maybe like a sailing or two from Southampton and then Miami afterwards. The Teresa McChain with an epic slap Tony Diaz super chat. Holy moly, 102 days until freedom, back to back. Hashtag sorry, not sorry, Tony. I'm never sorry, Tony. But thank you, Teresa, for your amazing epic super chat. And I'm guessing, Teresa, wait, is that so that you figured out your problem of booking another cruise, or you still have to figure out that one cruise? Either way, that's awesome. Love that. Freedom of the Seas is a great ship. Ronnie, thank you for the super chat. How does using travel agents work? Do you recommend any? Yes, it's a great question. I recommend MEI Travel, MEI. Just go to, Ronnie, if you go to realcaribbeanblog.com, there's a giant yellow form, fill that out, and they'll contact you. But basically the way it works is the travel agent will book the cruise for you. They manage the reservation, your gratuities, if you're purchasing any transfers, if you want to buy travel insurance through the Royal Caribbean, they can assist you with that. That's basically what they control. The drink packages, the shore excursions, the Wi-Fi, all the fun stuff you still control via the cruise planner website. And so basically they handle the cruise booking. Now you might say, well, Matt, I can book my own cruise. I know my credit card number. Why would I, am I that lazy that I can't have someone book a cruise for me? And it's not about that. Anybody can book a cruise. You're absolutely right. The thing is, a good travel agent can help you along the way. They will save you time and possibly money. Number one, they may know about certain discounts that are available to you that are not, that you wouldn't be available to. In fact, I just booked a cruise today and I went to the website, I saw the price and I said, all right, book it. And my travel agent did. It's a good news because of our agency's relationship with a, there's a better, oh gosh, Becky's like yelling at her phone right now. There's a word for the name of the company. It's not a conglomerate, but an association of travel agencies. I got $75 onboard credit for absolutely nothing. And I just qualified for it because it was a special rate. So off the bat, MEI Travel saved me $75. Beyond that, if you run into a problem, a change, they can be there to help you with it. It's kind of like having a lawyer in court, Ronnie, right? If you go to court, you can represent yourself, but then you got to learn the whole legal system by yourself. Similarly, or somewhat like that, with the travel agents, they know the back end ways. They will be the ones who call Royal Caribbean and sit on hold for like an hour instead of you. It's well worth it. And it really pays dividends the more cruises you book with them in terms of time saved. Brina, thank you for the super chat. 14 days till Mariner of the Seas. I think we'll be on the same cruise as you, Brina. Hopefully we'll see you on Brenna. Probably mispronouncing your name, but if you're on 14 days, then I'm on the same cruise as you. Yeah, looking forward to seeing you there. And the Hide Stowaway piano player is amazing. Yes, indeed. Daniel, thank you for the super chat. As a first timer this November, what's normal for tipping already prepaid gratuities? Great question. So you've prepaid your, thank you for your generosity, first and foremost. Speaking of tipping, you prepaid your gratuities. That covers your dining room staff and your stateroom attendant. So you should feel very good that you're covered there. Anything you buy on board, Daniel, whether you order a drink individually or you have a drink package, the gratuity is already included. It's automatic. So when you buy a drink, if you don't have a drink package and you just say, I'd like to have a beer, please, you'll see on the receipt, the beer is whatever, $8, whatever. And then you'll see a service charge on there, which covers gratuity. So really, the only tipping you need to truly worry about is porters. So when you drop your luggage off, it's customary to give the porter $1 or $2 per bag. Likewise, at the end of the cruise, when you pick up your luggage to go home, if you use a porter, it's customary to tip them as well. Also, it's customary to tip people in the places you're going, like on shore excursions, right? A driver, a tour guide. That's a little more ambiguous. It really depends on how long was the tour, how good was the tour guide, how many people are in your party. That's kind of a gut check. I don't have any good advice. It really depends. But the good news is, I mean, Royal Caribbean makes it very easy with the automatic gratuity in there. And the fact that you've already prepaid it, you're doing a good job right there. Jonesy with an epic super chat. Oh, thank you, Jonesy. I haven't followed the cruise news well enough to know. Can you give the short and sweet rundown of masks for 7-night cruise out of Florida? Yeah, it's really easy. There's no mask required. They got rid of masks, Jonesy, in March of this year. So you don't have to wear a mask, vaccinated or not, kid or not. There's no mask required anywhere on any Royal Caribbean ship or even in the cruise terminals. That's all. Unless, of course, there's a local law about the cruise terminals, I should add. I forget if California still has their rule, but if you're going out of, I think you said Florida, right? Yeah. So no mask required. You will not need one mask at all during your cruise. Andrew, thank you for the super chat. Is Starlink on Freedom a test or all ships? It was a test. Yeah, I'm not even sure they're running the test anymore, but it's unclear if Royal Caribbean is going to proceed with Starlink. Gosh, I hope they do. But we'll have to wait on that one. Hey, Jamie, any word on double points? No. I don't think they're going to bring it back anytime soon. They've been using it for like when they need to really spur bookings. They don't need to spur bookings right now. So, yeah. Let's see here. Next, Ron Ladowski in that chat. What's up, Ron? I can't answer that question here. We're keeping it PG, my friend. Preston, thank you for the super chat. Planning a cruise with my friends. The only trip that works is 5 nights on Grandeur or Carnival Breeze. Want to stay with Royal Caribbean, but our group is younger and I don't want them to be bored. So I don't know anything about Carnival Breeze. I'll be perfectly honest with you guys. This is when I wish Allie from Cruise.blog, one of our writers, was here because she knows way more about Carnival than I do. Listen, Grandeur of the Seas doesn't have, zip lines or anything like that or water slides. That doesn't mean it's a boring cruise. I really believe, actually, to quote Allie, who said this the other day, cruise is what you make of it. It really is. And what that means is, if you sit there and you're like, there's no water slides here, there's no zip line, there's no Broadway show, I hate this cruise. Like, okay, well, you're not really putting yourself out there to try things, but you can have a great time, a fabulous time on Grandeur of the Seas. Now, listen, it's a little easier for adults to say as opposed to kids. I get that, but there's still a pool. You're still going to fun places. And, it's not a bad experience. I just think it's a different one, right? So the way to look at it is to embrace what the ship offers instead of what it doesn't offer and really double down on that. There's a lot of great trivia. There's still shows every night. There's entertainment. So don't assume that you're just like, there's literally nothing to do. Far from it. There's still plenty of activities offered on board. My advice also, look at a past Cruise Compass. Might be a good idea. To get an idea, past Cruise Compass, to get an idea of what they offer on there, I should say. Next question is from Aiden. Aiden, thank you for the super chat. I don't see a message from you, but I will keep an eye out for Aiden. Thank you, my friend. Elizabeth, thank you for the super chat. Our check-in time is this Wednesday on Symphony of the Seas. What time does it begin on that day? We want to jump right on to get a good time. You already have your check-in time, right? Like, I'm not sure what your question is. Like, you went through the Royal Caribbean app. You got your check-in time, Elizabeth. So whatever time you chose is the time that you should go there. I'm not sure what time does the boarding actually, I mean, what time do earlier people get to go, like the first people? I don't know. But whatever time you got there is the time. I hope I understand your question right there. Thank you again, Fanfic Rocks, for the super chat. Sadly, I only watch the live videos and live streams. Hey, no worries. Well, listen, Fanfic Rocks, send me an email, matt@royalcaribbeanblog.com. I got some reading for you to check on out. How do we contact Becky at MEI Travel to book a cruise? Really easy, Stacey. Go to royalcaribbeanblog.com. The website, maybe you're like Fanfic Rocks. You've never been to the website. You only watch the videos, which is fine. I'm not judging here. This is great. Thank you for being here. Go to royalcaribbeanblog.com. There's a giant yellow form. You can't miss it on the homepage. Fill out that form, and somebody will contact you. Omid, thank you for the super chat. 13 days till Allure, 89 till Mariner. Do you have a favorite beach getaway in Roatan and Cozumel? Yes. So Roatan, Mayan Princess. Thank you again. First of all, thank you again for the super chat. Mayan Princess, you can book that through Royal Caribbean. So Mayan Princess in Roatan. In Cozumel, if you want an all-inclusive, this is not through Royal Caribbean. I would recommend Nachi Kokum, Nachicoccom. Nachi Kokum. If you don't want all-inclusive, Paradise Beach. So either of those two places in Cozumel, Roatan is mostly, it's like semi-all-inclusive, if that makes sense. Marianne wants to know, are there any plans for Royal Caribbean to bring a second ship to the Port of Los Angeles? There's no plans announced, certainly. I think, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not sure how well it's selling, but I would love to see another ship out there, But as of right now, no, nothing. Jim Perry, thank you for the super chat. Thank you, my friend. Really appreciate it. And Russell, thank you for the super chat. I'm going to keep an eye out for your messages here if they come in a little later. If I miss your message, if it's been like, I'll show your super chat like you, Russell, right now, and it goes like 5 minutes, you don't see me bring your, assuming there is a message, maybe there isn't. Just type in chat in capital letters, miss super chat, and I will definitely get to it. But thank you guys for your generosity. Speaking of generosity, Angeline, thank you for your super chat. Something I wonder if this is in January. I noticed there isn't very many excursions available. Is Royal Caribbean waiting closer to the cruise date to upload all available excursions? Yeah, pretty much. You're still about, what, 6 months or so-ish from your cruise. Keep an eye on it. They will add them in there. But you're just on that. There is no set date when short excursions show up, Angeline. So that's the short answer. The longer answer is I usually tell people about 6 months, they'll probably start showing up. So give it a couple more weeks. It'll be there. Not to worry. GS Adventures, thank you for the super chat. Because of the other two big ones dropping pre-testing for any lengths of cruising, do you think Royal will announce that they'll drop theirs this week? It's a great question. I don't know. I wish I did know. I know as much as you guys do, which is what we see here. Here's what I'll tell you, GS Adventures. I think when Royal Caribbean announced their stuff, it was the best information they had at the time, and they made their protocols based on that. I think what we're going to see is an evolving landscape of protocols. Do you guys remember like when the protocols for cruising in general, like last year, between July 21 and like November, December? I mean, the protocols were changing, like they were changing every month. And even then they were changing many times within the month. I think we're now seeing that again going the other way. So it's going to be an organic process. Remember, some of these protocols, like the unvaccinated folks, can't even start cruising until September anyway. So things could change. So the answer is I have no earthly idea beyond what you know. So number one. Number two, yes, I do believe things will change. How quickly? That's a good question, GS Adventures. I don't know that. It is interesting that some lines have made, not quite a copy and paste of the other lines protocols. But again, there's been a lot that's, remember, Royal Caribbean put out their protocols, and at the time, we were all like, woo! And now we're seeing some other lines make some changes, and now there's a little bit of Monday morning quarterbacking going on, which is fine, but, it's going to be an organic process. Give this time. As will it be this week? I really don't have any idea. So we'll just have to keep an eye on it. Of course, I will let you guys know if and when there's any updates about that at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Joe, do I pay my cruise through my travel agent? Yes, if you have your travel agent, that's a good point. I didn't mention that part. Your travel agent handles final payment and deposit and all that. Carrie B, thank you for the super chat. Do you think they'll put the mason jar in future ships like Icon and Amped ships? I think we need more than one ship to get a PB&J old fashioned. Carrie, amen. I certainly hope so. I think Royal Caribbean has realized that it's kind of a home run and done really, really well. So I think the answer is probably. But there's only so much space for specialty restaurants. You never know about that. But I certainly think they've got they're happy with how it's done on Wonder of the Seas. Russell, thank you for the super chat. How do I find the main dining room menu for Oasis of the Seas? We have a December cruise. A couple ways, Russell. So when you get very close to your cruise, like within a couple weeks, the menu will actually show up in the app. Probably about 3 to 6 weeks before your cruise, it'll magically show up there. One thing you could do, Russell, honestly, is just look at other 7-night main dining room menus. The menu is the same across the fleet, Russell. So if you found a 7-night cruise on Wonder of the Seas or Allure of the Seas or, well, Freedom doesn't do 7-nighters. Liberty of the Seas, right? It's going to be the same menu. So you can also do that as well. Sharon Stockman with an epic slap Tony Diaz. It's that good of a super chat. Woo! Thank you, Sharon. MEI Travel is the best travel agency I've worked with through the years. Beth Dickerson has been fantastic, and I have 5 cruises booked through 2024. They keep saving me up money by notification of when cruise prices reduce. That last sentence is really important because, listen, I always tell people, it's always good to use a good travel agent, right? And when I say the word good travel agent, what I mean by that is ones that really go above and beyond. And MEI Travel really does, because they will do price checks on behalf of guests. A lot of agencies don't do that. Not that that's the end of the world, because you could always find it yourself and then let your agent know, hey, can you please reprice this cruise? But it's certainly nice when they do that for you, and love saving money there. So Sharon, thank you for your generosity, and thank you for the great shout out to MEI Travel, which, by the way, full disclosure, I think I mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again. MEI Travel is our sponsor. I don't work for MEI Travel, but they are a sponsor here of Royal Caribbean Blog. But I use them. I've been using MEI Traveling before they were sponsor, so that's how good I feel about it. Victor wants to know, what kind of drinks are included in the main dining room? Water, iced tea, coffee, hot tea, flavored waters, hot chocolate. Am I missing one? I think that's it. So there you go, Victor. Avish, if you had a choice, going on a Oasis class ship for 1 week or going on Radiance or Vision for 2 weeks, which would you choose? 2 weeks on Radiance. I do love the Oasis class, but 2 weeks is better than 1 week, and more time on a cruise ship is definitely the way to go about that. Kathy Crandall. Kathy, thank you again. Good to see you. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you. Cesar, is the booster required? No. There are some itineraries in Europe that require it. I know cruises out of like countries like Spain or Italy require it if it's been more than 270 days to the original vaccination. But here in the US, it's not required. So it depends on where you're sailing from. So you want to check those protocols with Royal Caribbean. So Aiden, thank you for the super chat again, Aiden. Going to Symphony of the Seas this Halloween. Do they do any Halloween themed stuff around the holiday? Going to Caribbean, Mexico for Halloween. So yes, if your cruise goes over Halloween, like the actual holiday, there will be costume contests, trick-or-treating, decorations. So bring your costume on board. And again, Aiden, thank you for your generosity with the super chat. Aaron, thank you for the super chat. 89 Days to Harmony of the Seas, best place for sail away. The truly best place would be the Bridge Wings. They can get a little crowded, but I would say the Bridge Wings is number 1. Solarium in general is always good. Number 2, those would be the places I would do. Number 3, Aaron, the back of the ship. Go all the way to the back by the Flow Rider. It's a nice, pretty view out there as well. Not nearly as crowded. Miss Marie has a question. Going on Mariner next month. I want to do a bigger ship. Which first one do you recommend? Love the videos. Thank you, Miss Marie. Oh boy. Harmony, Wonder, Odyssey. I would say Wonder, Harmony, Odyssey, Oasis. Any of those 4 good choices for you. iBoogie666. Thank you for the awesome super chat. I don't see a message from you, but with a name like that, it's hard. Oh, there it is. I found the message. Here it is. Hi from Cafe Promenade on Mariner of the Seas. Thank you for the team for all the advice. This is our first cruise with Royal Caribbean. We're having a blast. Awesome. Love Mariner of the Seas. Get me I'd love a sandwich and 2 slices of pizza, please. Man, I'm jealous. That's awesome. Enjoy. Alice, thank you for the super chat. I don't see a message from you here, Alice, but I'll keep an eye out. I'm sorry if I'm missing any of them here. I'm trying my best to spot them if we miss them, but it is a little difficult with all the messages there. But thank you so much for your generosity. Joe, thanks for the super chat. 110 days till Anthem of the Seas. I booked a cruise for 2. I'm afraid I may not have childcare for the week. Is it possible to add a child onto your plan? The answer is yes, but by adding or subtracting for that matter, it may change your price. Number 1, Joe, the issue may be, can your room support more than 2 people? You might say, well, I saw a video of it, Matt. There's plenty of room. It's not about that. Is your room categorized for more than 2? So that'd be number 1. Number 2 is it may change the price of your cruise and almost certainly will go up in price. So what you want to do, Joe, is contact your travel agent and inquire about that. The answer is possibly. I mean, you're still quite a ways away. You're not at final payment date. That's good. You're not trying to do this like 2 weeks before your cruise. But I would make that change as soon as possible if you know that that's going to be a realistic possibility for you. Let's see here. Lucho wants to know, is Royal Caribbean going to finally reveal the design of Icon of the Seas? It looks to be that case. I know that they've been looking at the fall for the time in which we're going to get more information about Icon of the Seas. No doubt, Lucho, you saw the video I posted last week with the teaser video for this new video series that Royal Caribbean is going to be producing, which we'll post here, of course, on our channel as well. So the answer is certainly soon, sooner than later, it will be revealed, which is great. They haven't said that, but I expect that to be the case given this new video series coming up there. So whether that is end of this month, September, October, I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Oh, I see. Okay. Ika Mouse. So going back to that question earlier, like check-in opens to do online check-in. Right. Gotcha. Usually, thank you for translating for me. I would say, I mean, it really depends, but usually the earliest boarding times, 11 a.m. is pretty much a norm. Like it's rare that you do maybe 11:30, but these days, right around 11. It could be earlier. I've seen as early as 10:30, but right around 11ish is what you should expect. Next question is from Arsene wants to know. I was wondering what staterooms are considered star class. It really depends. There's a list of them. I can't. Aqua Theater 2 bedroom suite, the Ultimate Family Suite. There's about I don't know if it's a dozen or so, but certainly like a half dozen cabins. I don't have the list off the top of my head. I apologize. But there are certain cabins on every ship, every Oasis or Quantum Class ship that are considered star class. The two bedroom Aqua Theater Suite, the Ultimate Family Suite, the Crown Loft, Star Loft Suite, excuse me. There's a couple of others that I can't rattle off the top of my head. So, but we have that information at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Jim, thank you for the super chat earlier. I apologize for missing your message. Let's see. What do you recommend to do in Costa Maya? Maya Chan, Jim. It's not the Royal Caribbean. Google Maya Chan. It's an all-inclusive run by some American expats. Fantastic. I love that quite a bit. Kyle, thank you for the super chat. Holy moly, you guys are absolutely amazing with the super chats. Super chats are not required. I really appreciate them, but my goodness, I really appreciate all your generosity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Kyle, thank you very much. I'm going on Allure the C6 Nights. What's the best thing to do in Costa Maya and Honduras? Maya Chan in Costa Maya and Roatan, which is in Honduras. You'll be going to, I would recommend Mayan Princess. I didn't realize they both had Maya in there, but they do. So Mayan Princess and Mayan Princess, you book through Royal Caribbean. Maya Chan, you book on your own. So just Google Maya Chan, Costa Maya. You'll find their website. You can book it over there. Let's see here. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate you, buddy. CMT Beats, thank you for the super chat. Do you know if Royal Caribbean will stop testing for longer sailings? I don't. As of right now, that's not the plan. Also, what is your favorite ship in the fleet? Wonder of the Seas. Thank you so much for your generosity, my friend. Like going back to the protocol question about testing again. My belief is we're going to see these protocols change over the next easily 6 months. It's going to be a process that Royal Caribbean will work with the countries they're visiting, the countries the ships are departing from. It's not something that Royal Caribbean can unilaterally do because they have to adhere to the protocols of the countries they're visiting. But I do believe that a lot of the protocols will erode as time moves forward. So you got to, I know we all want the answers now, but that's my expectation anyway. Kim Oakland, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it, Kim. What Royal Caribbean ships have you not sailed on? Spectrum, Ovation, Liberty, Grandeur, Enchantment, Vision, Radiance, Voyager. I think that's it. An Icon. I think that's it. 101B Music. Thank you for the super chat. 69 days till wasted the season. Can you play Chops Plus One if I want to go to Izumi? Yeah, basically, you get 2 restaurants. One is going to be Chops. The other is your choice. If you go to Izumi and you go to Sushi, then you'll get a stipend to use there. I believe it's $35 per person to use there. So if you spend $20 of sushi, cost you nothing extra. If you spend $50 of sushi, then you owe, the $15, right? 40, yeah. Jeez, I was like, oh gosh, am I doing bad math here on the air? $15 extra on there. If you're going to Hibachi, then you'll pay a $10 flat charge per person to go there with that. So thank you for the super chat. Billy D Music, thank you for the super chat. 34 days till Harmony, finally able to join live. I love watching the recaps. My question is, what's the benefit of booking a future cruise on board and then doing it with doing it with your travel agent now? Great question. So number one, there's 2 benefits to booking a cruise on board: extra onboard credit and a reduced deposit. The price is the same no matter what. But here's what I will tell you, Billy D. If you're sitting here right now, you're at home watching this video and you want to book a cruise, like this ship is sailing, right? My advice is contact your travel agent and book it now. The reason why I'm saying that is if you wait, the price could go up between now and your cruise when you get on board, thus negating any of the savings that you would have gotten with that onboard credit. So your best bet, because prices tend to go up over time, is to book your cruise now, lock in the rate, and be good. But Billy, if you're on board a cruise, if you're on Harmony of the Seas in a month from now, and you're like, wow, this is great. I'm having a great time. And you turn to your friends or family members on board and say, let's do this again. Let's book another cruise. Then that is when you go to Next Cruise and book a cruise, because that would make a lot of sense. And by the way, when you book at Next Cruise, you can still use your travel agent. So let the Next Cruise agent know that you want to use your travel agent, and you're good to go. Kelly wants to know, does Royal Caribbean send out denial emails for Royal Up? They do, yeah. So it could be at any point, Kelly, whenever they decide, even the day of your sailing. But yes, they'll send an email to let you know whether or not your bid was accepted or not. Matthew Summers, thank you for the super chat. Can you change from traditional dining to my time once you're on the ship? You can, subject to availability, Matthew. So my advice is, if you know you want to change it, try to do it already. If it's not available, have your travel agent put you on the wait list. So say, hey, can you, I'm sorry, my time's not available. But ask your travel agent to be put on, for you to be put on a wait list. But if all else fails, if you get on board the ship and say, Matt, I'm still in traditional, I want to do my time, then yes, go on day one to the main dining room. Usually there's a head waiter available like right around 1 o'clock or so and later. Ask to speak to them and make the change over there. They're usually pretty good about making that work. Aaron, again, thank you for the super chat. Going on Harmony in November to Aruba. Excursions to do at night. I don't have any. I have not done a cruise stop that late. Mambo Beach looks like it was kind of a fun area. It was more than just a beach. There were restaurants, things like that. So I might. Wait a minute. That's not. Is that Aruba? Yeah, I think that was Aruba. No, that was Curacao. Never mind. Forget what I said there. Let me try again. Usually I recommend Palm Beach and Eagle Beach in Aruba, but they're just that. I would probably say just where your ship docks, there's a downtown area. I'd go have dinner. That's what I would do, quite frankly. But keep in mind, in November, it'll be, yeah. This time of year, the sun doesn't set, until much later. But yeah. So, Desiree, thank you for the super chat. Fan character wearing heart-shaped sunglasses. Thank you so much, Desiree. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see here. Milk. Thank you, Tom. I knew there was something else that's available for free in the main dining room. So when we were talking about drinks earlier, what drinks come with dinner? Milk, chocolate milk. Oh, I forgot something. Thank you, Tom. Donna Holt with an epic slap Tony Diaz super chat. Thank you, Donna. Appreciate it. Thank you. I'm looking for a message from Donna, but I don't see one. Well, Donna, thank you so much for your generosity. Wow. Thank you. Really appreciate it. And lemonade is also free. Thank you, John. Man, it's like, this is why I write all these things down on the blog. So I don't have to remember all these things. But yeah, thank you guys. Lavender Lady, thank you for the super chat. Is room service still free with the key program? I don't believe it is. What to do in St. Thomas? Go to Megan's Bay. Megan's Bay is where you want to go. It's fantastic. If you've never been to there, you want to go to Megan's Bay. If you have been to Megan's Bay, then do any excursion that takes you over to St. John. It's really, really nice. Get a drink of water here and catch up with the chat. Donna, I'm still looking for your message over here. And if I miss your super chat, guys, please type in capital letters, missed my chat or something like that. Kathy Crandall again with a super chat. Thank you, Kathy. How far in advance do cruise lines put out cruise schedules like 2025 spring? Usually, how far in advance depends on when you book it, right? Kathy, the next set will come out in November and then around the spring or so. So you'll start getting them. Right now, they go into early 24. So it'll be about early 25, something like that. Again, the historically speaking, if Royal Caribbean sticks to their schedule, and they usually do, they'll get new protocols. Let me try that again. You'll get new itineraries released in November, late November, early December timeline, and then another batch in the spring around March and April or so. So, hope that answers your question there. Let's see here. Next question. Entertainments. Hope I said that right. Can you offer halal options for meals? Yes. You're going to need to ask for that. So what you want to do is email rcldining@rccl.com. RCL Romeo Charlie Lima dining or Delta India November India November Gulf at rccl.com. Not Royal Caribbean. rccl.com. RCL dining rccl.com with your name, reservation number, ship, sale date, and let them know that you like that. They can usually help you out with that kind of stuff. Worst case scenario, you get on board the ship, talk to the head waiter. They can help you out. Chris wants to know, will MEI travel help with flights, hotel before embarkation? So actually with hotels, I think they can now, right? Becky will correct me if I'm wrong, because Royal Caribbean now has a new hotel booking option, which I believe they can help you with. With flights, here's the problem with flights. The airlines don't pay the travel agents any commission because the airlines think they're, what, don't stink, and they just don't feel like doing that anymore. So travel agents can certainly help you or give you advice on there, but they may not say this, Chris, but I'm going to tell you this as a client, that you should book your own air because travel agents don't make any money off that commission. It's unfair to them. Because really, if you have a question like, hey, is this flight time okay? This airline, what airport should I fly into? They're totally cool to help you with that. But the actual booking process, my advice is book it on your own because, again, they don't get paid for that. I'm not sure Becky agrees with me on that one, but that's my own personal feelings on that one. Devin, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Me and my wife are going on our first cruise on Freedom of the Seas a week from today. We're so excited. Should we book our next cruise on the ship? Also, do you ever join cruise Facebook groups? I do join Facebook groups for cruises. Yeah, I'm not a big, I don't usually participate in them, but I like seeing what other people are doing and getting excited for it. So it is fun to do that. Yeah, absolutely. And we talked about this earlier, Devin, but when it comes to booking a cruise on board, I mean, your cruise is a week from today. But even so, if you know there's a cruise you want to book right now, Devin, book it now, lock in the price. If there's a better deal between now and when you get on board Freedom of the Seas, it could offset that onboard credit you'd be getting from booking with next cruise. So my advice is book it now. But if you're on board the ship and you're having a great time, then go ahead, and do that. Dusty, is there a site to see how many people report across the fleet on how many travelers are getting COVID on board? No. In the same way, Dusty, there's not a website that tracks how many people get COVID at Disney World, Las Vegas, New York City. It's not a stat that's tracked. It's just the CDC stopped doing that. And anyway, so no, there is not. Fanfic Rocks again with the super chat. Thank you. Should be interesting to see how autism-related content can be turned into a video or series of videos. Yeah, absolutely. We'll definitely be looking into that. It's always a good idea, man. I'm trying to always help people out with, planning cruises and whatnot. All aspects of it. Thank you again for your super chat. Mike H. in Connecticut. Thank you, my friend. We're going on Oasis in 2 weeks. We chose my time because we love NCL freestyle. The reserve time's full. Standing in line for 36 minutes is not appealing. Any suggestions? I mean, keep checking. And number two, when you get on board the ship, Mike, the first thing you're going to want to do is go then try to make reservations. There is usually more availability once on board. The other thing you could do, if all else fails, Matt, no more times at all, I can't get anything, then go for off-peak times. Try to get to dinner before 6:30. After 8 o'clock, you'll have far, far less waiting for those times, if at all possible, or switch to traditional dining. The 2012 Whisperer, thank you for the super chat. When are drink dining packages charged before or after taking girlfriend on her first cruise in Freedom in December? She has no idea of the surprise. Hey, oh, sorry. I mean, that doesn't sound interesting at all. When you purchase a dining or a drink package, you pay for it at the time of purchase. So when you go to the website and book it, you'll pay for it right away. Thank you for the super chat. Good luck. Texas B2 Trill, thank you for the super chat. Is Royal Up worth it? It can be. I mean, the thing with Royal Up is you have to understand, just because Royal Caribbean tells you, hey, what would you like to bid to move up to a grand suite, doesn't mean there are any grand suites available. So keep that in mind. As long as you're okay with that, sure, why not? Give it a roll. Keeping in mind, by the way, that you will not be able to choose your room, like your room location. And obviously, Texas, if you place multiple bids and you want that grand suite, but you also bid for the junior suite, and the junior suite comes out first, you're getting the junior suite. So whether that's a problem or not, yeah. Nick wants to know, hey, Matt, can you reprice a cruise more than once prior to final payment? Yes, absolutely. As Sharon Stockman will tell you, absolutely, yes. David Owen, thank you for the super chat. How hard is it getting in-person COVID tests in Athens? I wish my YouTube editor Jenna was here. She did this recently. She did a live blog, David. If you Google Rhapsody of the Seas live blog, she just did this like earlier this summer. She talked about it and where she got it there. So check out the live blog there. Again, just Google Royal Caribbean blog Rhapsody of the Seas live blog. Susan Westfall, thank you for the super chat. Just saying hi. Wouldn't seem like Monday without the blog. Oh, thank you, Susan. Hope you and the family are well. Good to see you here. Thank you so much again for your amazing generosity, Susan. Thank you. Appreciate it. I am the Princess Divine. Can you go on the ship directly after you check in? It depends on what time your check-in is. Sometimes the people that are checking in early, the ship isn't ready for boarding. But if it is ready, once they open up the ship, then yes, then you'll be able to go right away as soon as that's the case. We're running out of time. My goodness, it's already been an hour. Holy moly. I am so far behind in the chat here. I apologize, guys. I'm trying to get to as many as I can. Alan, thank you for the super chat. October 8th, going to Symphony of the Seas. Hope to royal up. Alan, thank you for your generosity. Good luck with that. That would be fantastic if you can do that. Amy, thank you for the super chat. Still on Independence of the Seas, December 5th, on my daughter's birthday. Any recommendations for special things I can do for her once on board? How old is she? Is she like 5 or 25? I mean, if she's old enough to go to the spa, that's good. Especially dining. My daughter loves like a really good steak. So book especially restaurant. Book a cabana at Coco Key. That'd be something else I would recommend. Thank you again for your generosity. Next question is from Thomas Beal. Thank you, Thomas, for the super chat. Love your channel and videos, but I do have a question. What's going on with the escape rooms? They shut down during COVID and haven't heard anything else. Can I book them on the ship? Yeah, you can book them once on board. Some of them, if not all of them, are back open again, but you can't book them before the cruise yet for whatever reason. I don't know why. But once you're on board the ship, open up the Royal Caribbean app. You'll be able to book it on there and you'll be good to go. So thank you again for your generosity. I appreciate it. Owen wants to know, I have an online conference meeting on a day I'm planning to do a cruise on Anthem. Is the Wi-Fi package worth the money, or should I say I'm not available? Well, I think a lot of people will say you're not available, but the internet on Anthem is pretty good. So it would work if you got it. Let's put it that way. George Macy again with a super chat. Thank you, my friend. What are your thoughts on WoW bands? Well, here's the thing, George. It doesn't matter because they don't exist anymore. I love them, but Royal Caribbean has not brought them back since COVID, so you can't use them whether you buy them or bring your own. So I love them. I really thought they were cool, but yeah, you're kind of out of luck on that one. Jen, thank you for the epic super chat. Woo! Thanks for being awesome. Thank you. I roll up to a grand suite. Can I take my friends with me to the suite happy hour or get them priority tender tickets with me? They're booked in a spacious balcony. Unfortunately, you can't. The suite benefits that you're getting are only for you. So no, though, they're not available for other people, unfortunately, which I know it stinks because it's like, well, what are you going to do? You have to basically roll with the lowest common denominator over there. So unfortunately, you will not be able to get their benefits. Yeah, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but that is Royal Caribbean's official policy on that. So thank you, Jen, though, for this epic super chat. I really appreciate it. I just feel bad I'm giving you answers you don't want to hear. Next question is from Rita. What's the best liquor to purchase in Nassau? Rum. Bohemian rum is really what they're known for. So I would say rum is definitely the way to go. Let's see. Marcus, thank you for the epic. Marcus, sorry. Marcus was a different message. Sharon Stockman, thank you for the epic super chat. Woo! Man, that is so good of a super chat. You're going to want to slap Tony Diaz. On my last cruise, I got notified that my flight home was canceled. I contacted MEI through Messenger and took care of getting me on a new flight so it would not be delayed getting home. Can't be. That is amazing, sir. That is above and beyond. Wow. And Sharon, again, thank you. You are amazing. Thank you. My goodness. David Owen, thank you for the super chat. Leave for Athens 58 days. How hard is it? Oh, we talked about this one already. Thank you for your super chat, though. I appreciate it. Again, David, if you can't find the article I'm talking about, email me, matt@royalcaribbeanblog.com. I'll send you a link to it so you can find the article there. Mike wants to know, what is better, to BOGO or 30% off the drink package? It doesn't matter, Mike. Here's why I'm telling you it doesn't matter. Whatever the price is, book it now, lock in the price. If the price tomorrow, next week, next month goes down, you can always reprice, cancel, and rebook through the Cruise Planner website. There's no penalty for doing so. It's really easy to do so. But the reason why you want to book no matter what is because it will always be cheaper online than on board the ship. So keep that in mind. Let's see here. Next question is from Danny DiMatteo. Thank you, Danny. Appreciate it. Thank you. Ron Ladowski with a super chat. Thank you, Ron. Thank you. RNA saying back to Danny. All right. Thank you, buddy. Tony Diaz with the super chat. Thank you, Tony. I would have given you a bigger super chat, but then I would have to get slapped myself. Listen, Tony, let's be fair here, all right? If you did a bigger super chat, I am certain your wife would not mind slapping you in the face. I'm just saying. Fanfic Rocks again with an F with a super chat. Thank you, Fanfic Rocks. Another idea to think about for a video or two is to have a look at things like people who are non-binary and associated topics. My only question is, how would that? Thank you for the suggestion. First and foremost, I just don't know how that is relevant to people planning their cruise. I mean, there's certain events like there's. I mean, again, I'm going to show my ignorance here. I mean, there is Friends of Dorothy, which is a self-led event for folks who are members of the LGBTQ community. Beyond that, and more so, I mean, maybe there's some things there. I'd have to do more research on that, but I'm off the top of my head, I'm not sure how people who are non-binary might. I have to think more about it, but it's a good suggestion. Thank you. I'm not discounting it. It's like it's a head scratcher for me. As you might imagine, it's not something I deal with all the time. So, just got to internalize it. But thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it. How's the weather in the Bahamas in October? Hot and humid. Hot and humid. Likely going to be a downpour of some kind, but it's short-lived. Rain comes and goes, so not to worry about that. Does Harmony Disease have an escape room? It does indeed. Yes, it does. Is the key worth it? I don't think so, Janice. I've done some videos here on our channel. So after this video, which is about to end soon, go back to the channel and search for the key. You'll find some reviews on why I don't like the key, but essentially, I think it sounds better than it is. So, Al, thank you for the amazing epic. Woo! Slap Tony Diaz super chat. Holy moly! I don't really have a question, just a comment. I've recently discovered your blog, and it's such a big help as I learn about cruising. I go there every day to prepare for my upcoming cruise. Thanks, my friend. Thank you so much. Wow, dude. I mean, overly generous. I don't deserve it. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you're enjoying what we have here in our videos and over at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. I appreciate you a lot. Thank you so much for your generosity. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Devon wants to know, are the murder mystery dinners back? I forgot about those. The answer is no. They didn't really bring. Actually, that's not true. I don't know if Liberty still does them because there were only a few ships that still did them. This was a thing that Royal Caribbean did. I remember when I first started cruising with the Royal Caribbean, most ships, especially the newer ships, had this murder mystery dinner. It was basically a dinner in a specialty restaurant like Portofino's, remember that, or Giovanni's, which replaced it, where you would have it's a meal, but it would be this like show involved, and there'd be people who like who done it kind of a thing. It was on so few ships when COVID hit that I'm not sure if it was on. I know Liberty for sure had it before COVID. I don't know with any definitive information if it's back or not. Matthew Schaefer, thank you for the super chat. Had first cruise ever on Alert, absolutely loved it. You think starting on Oasis class will ruin the rest of the industry by comparison? No, it's a good question. I think it's a fair question, actually, in fact. But I will say I don't think so. They're all different, right? If you ask anybody in the chat here who's been on an Oasis and a Radiance or a Vision class ship or a Voyager class ship, they'll tell you that they're different, not necessarily bad or worse or better. It's just they're different. And quite frankly, it goes back to something I talked about earlier, which is it's the cruise is what you make of it. You can have a great time on Grandeur this season. You have a great time on an Oasis class ship. There are certain advantages of going on a smaller / older cruise ship. So it's not to say that just because you've been on a massive big ship that it's all downhill from here. You can't possibly have anything that will exceed that. And I think the answer is that's not true at all. It's quite the opposite. It's just think of it more like cars, Matthew. Like driving a sedan is a different experience than driving a pickup truck, which is different than driving an 18-wheeler, which is different than driving a motorcycle, certainly, right? They both get you from point A to point B, but there's a different style to them, if you will, and other things. I hope this analogy makes any sense for you, but yeah. Let's see here. What is my favorite part at Coco Key? I love the Oasis Lagoon. I'm really becoming a big fan now, Charlie, of the Harbor Beach. I really like that beach quite a bit. We have a Sharon Stockman again, dude. Thank you so much, Sharon. My goodness, thank you, thank you, thank you. When do you think 2024 cruises past March will be released? They're late this year. They're not late. They always release new itineraries, Sharon, at the end of November, early December. That's the first set. So like usually, almost always Alaska comes out at that point, and then the next set will come out in the spring. So they're not late yet. The first time in which we would get new itineraries, like I said, will usually be about November, late November, like right before and after Thanksgiving, and then a week or two in December, and the rest come out in the spring. So hope that makes sense. Thank you for your generosity. Fanfic rocks. Thank you again. My goodness, for the super chat. More related things like being on board and the attitude on board. That, and if there's no non-binary options. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. So I think in general, I think your idea is a good one, and I think it's a broader question. It's not a just about non-binary folks. It's about a lot of different folks who can go on a cruise and enjoy it, and how it is. Because a lot of people, I can imagine, would feel that way. Like, am I going to feel ostracized, right? And the answer is no. I mean, I can only answer your question. I'm not going to answer your question here, but I can only say that I have a lot of friends, who are gay, and they have great times on cruising, and they feel very welcome. The fact that there is on every sailing a Friends of Dorothy meet is quite a nice sign for them. And earlier this year in June, they had the pride flag up on their ships. I mean, Royal Caribbean does a pretty good job, in my opinion, of certainly supporting the LGBTQ community. And so there's more to that, is what I'm trying to say. And I think that there's certainly an opportunity to talk about, I'm not sure what the idea is. I'll have to work on it, but that's a problem for me to figure out. But I think there's definitely some good ideas there. So thank you again. And Fanfic, thank you so much for your generosity. You don't have to do super chats in order to get your messages across, my friend. Appreciate it. Angelise says, how did you become the Royal Caribbean vlog? I'm not affiliated with Royal Caribbean whatsoever. I know I'm wearing a shirt that says it. Anybody can buy the shirt in the store. I have no affiliation with the cruise line whatsoever. So to answer your question, I just decided one day I will start a website called Royal Caribbean Blog. But I want to make sure that that's clear. Should I go on Wonder or Odyssey? Yes, you should. You should go on both. All right, we have time for a couple more questions here, guys. Then we're going to head on out of here. Lavender Lady again with the super chat. Thank you, Lavender Lady. Which are the captain's dinner night or the dress to impress on a 7-night Harmony cruise? There's going to be two of them. They're almost always, not always, but almost always night 2 and night 5 or 6, whatever the sea days are, Lavender Lady. So check out Past Cruise Compass. So what you could do to figure it out, Lavender Lady, is go to RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. In our main menu, there's a link that says cruise compasses. Click on that, find a past cruise compass from Harmony, and you'll get a pretty good idea of what to expect. Sixto Santo wants to know, is there a 2-day Echo Key cruise? There's not. They had them last year for a while when cruises out of Nassau, but they've not really brought that back, unfortunately, which would be really, really nice. Should I have Mariner or Independence? I think I prefer Mariner, but both are really, really good. So JFam wants to know, is there a way to get water on the boat without having to have a drink package? Yes. There's complimentary water. So you can go to any restaurant, bar, lounge, and they can get water there. So yes, water is complimentary on board the ship. So you're good to go on that. Texas Beach Trill, Grand Suite, Royal Suite, or Owner Suite? Well, if money's no object, Royal Suite, sure. It's the biggest suite that's out there. But really, it's Royal Suite, Owner Suite, Grand Suite in terms of both price and amenities and size of the room. But if it's Tony Diaz's money, go for the Royal Suite, my friend. Definitely the way to go. Thank you again, Fanfic Rocks. My goodness, love that. I am hashtag pro Tony. Wait, are we talking about Tony Diaz or is that something else? Anyway, thank you, Fanfic Rocks, for your generosity. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. Well, Elena Ford, thank you so much. They're very, 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 very nice. Shayna, our babysitter canceled on us. Oh no, we're bringing the baby. Will be 7 months. Any suggestions on what to do in the Bahamas? Yes. Hold on a second. What would I do with it? I would probably go. I'm leaning towards it all. I always generally like all inclusive. Shayna, go to resortforaday.com and find a place that some of them there's a few that are adults only, but there are some that aren't. And I'd go there. That way you can have, some good, nice amenities, nothing too crazy. So resortforaday.com, find a good resort to go to. Or I'm not sure what ship you're on, but if your ship has a nursery, Shayna, one more thing you could do is leave your baby in the nursery and get off the ship and go do an excursion. You're going to have like heart palpitations, like, oh my goodness, I'm leaving my kid on the ship and I'm off the ship. What happens? Like, every parent goes through this, but that is an option you could consider. Now, the nursery will cost money, but it's money well spent if you ask me. So just something to think about. And you could certainly just get off the ship, Shayna, walk to one of the bars, hang out for like an hour or two and get back on board if you're truly worried about it. But that's another option you shouldn't overlook. So, and we have one last super chat coming in here. Okay, Andrew, there's no need for mean messages. It's unnecessary. So please embrace other people's has no bearing on your life, Andrew. So there's just no room for it, and there's no room for any hate in here, quite frankly. So I don't appreciate it. Whether you're trying to make a joke or not, it's not appreciated. So thank you for respecting the rules here, and try to be, if you're being serious, I'd advise you to be a better human being, quite frankly. Thank you again, Fanfic Crocs. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. On that note, Nadira's got a lot. All right, we're going to wrap it up. We got one more from Nadira. Thank you, Nadira. How do I find out what the theme is for dinner each night so I can pack accordingly? I'm going on Odyssey, leaving out of Rome in the end of September. Rita Pass Cruise Compass is your best bet, Nadira. So go to RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, go to the main menu, Cruise Compasses, and that's your best bet to be able to find that out there. So go there. If you find a cruise compass for the type of, we don't have that many from Odyssey for Europe, so that might be an issue there. But if your cruise is 7 nights, plan on 2 formal nights and the rest just normal nights. You don't have to worry too much more about that, is what I would say. So, yep. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Nadira, for the super chat. Ooh, one more. We got one more super chat coming in. Best hotel to go to in Orlando? I mean, there's so many great hotels. I don't know. Becky, what do you think? What's a good hotel in Orlando? I would say, what would I say? Hold on. I just booked one of my readers and one of my staff members in one, I should say. Let me see if I can find it really quick. I'm wasting dead time over here. But anyway, there's a lot of great hotels. If you don't really care, if you're just coming in the night before the cruise, I would just simply say stay in a hotel that's by the airport. I think that's probably a good idea. There's a lot of great hotels. I would just do this, Drake. I would look for a 4-star or higher hotel at a price you can afford. Generally speaking, it's not always a slam dunk, but generally speaking, a 4-star or higher is probably going to be clean, safe, and good enough for one night. But I don't know if there's anything in here that would say otherwise. I should get a cut for all this Pro Tony love. Desiree, thank you for the super chat and orange suitcase with travel stickers. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you. All right. On that note, we are going to wrap up our chat tonight. Thank you guys so much. You guys have been overly generous and certainly very, very enthusiastic, which I love. Thank you all so much. Before we go, I will say thank you to our super chatters. Desiree, thank you. Drake, thank you. Nadira, thank you. Fanfic, thank you. Fanfic, thank you. I'm gonna say fanfic, thank you a lot. Lavender Lady, thank you. Fanfic, thank you. Sharon Stockman, thank you so much, Sharon. Al, thank you. Fanfic again, thank you. Tony Diaz, thank you. Ron, thank you. Danny, thank you. David, thank you. Sharon again, thank you so much. Jen, thank you. George, thank you. Thomas, thank you. Amy, thank you. Alan, thank you. Susan, thank you. David, thank you. Texas, thank you. 2012, thank you. Mike H, thank you. Fanfic again, thank you. Devin, thank you. Kathy, thank you. Lavender Lady again, thank you. Donna, by the way, Donna, I don't think I ever got your message. So Donna, if I didn't get here, email me, matt@royalcaribbeanblog.com. I'll be happy to answer any question you might have. Desiree, thank you. Aaron, thank you. Matthew Summers, thank you. Billy D, thank you. 101B Music, thank you. Kim Oakland, thank you. CMTP Drops, thank you. Kyle, thank you. Joe, thank you. Alice, thank you. Boogie, NYC, thank you. Aaron, again, thank you. Aiden, thank you. Kathy, thank you. Sharon, my goodness, Sharon, I owe you such a big hug. Thank you so much. Russell, thank you. Carrie, thank you. GS Adventures, thank you. Angeline, thank you. Russell, thank you. Jim Perry, thank you. Omid, thank you. Fanfic again, thank you. Elizabeth, thank you. Aiden again, thank you. Preston, thank you. Jonesy, thank you. Daniel, thank you. Brenna, thank you. Hopefully see you on board. Ronnie, thank you. Teresa, thank you. James, thank you. Fanfic again, thank you. Barbara, thank you. George, thank you. Whew, cruising with Carol, thank you. Brandon, thank you. Angela, thank you. Andrew, thank you. Brandon again, thank you. Elizabeth, thank you. Josh Carruthers, thank you. AD, thank you. And Peter, thank you so much for your generosity. Guys, thank you all so much. Really appreciate each and every one of you being here. It is amazing. If I didn't get to your question, you can always post it on our message boards at royalcaribbeanblog.com, or we'll be back again next Monday right here on YouTube. So come join us here each and every Monday that we're live. Until then, have a great week, everybody. Stay safe out there. Do something fun. And we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. Bye, everybody.